All right. Hello and welcome, folks that are joining us this evening, Wednesday evening here in India. We've got an exciting 60 minutes planned for you. We're going to wait for a couple of minutes for folks to join in and sort of really get this going. But there's a lot to get through over this next 60 minutes. And sort of as we wait for folks to join in, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about who I am and who we are here at GradRight. My name is Priyanka. I look after communications at GradRight. GradRight is a platform that helps you as a student that is interested in going to the United States for a master's figure out two things. One, we help you figure out how to find the right master's program for you based on your personal and professional goals. We have an AI-powered recommendation engine called SelectRight, which you can use for free to find a master's program that really suits your needs. The other thing that we do is we also help you fund that degree. How do we do that? We have an education loan bidding platform called FundRight. Once again, both of these platforms are completely free to use for your students. So depending on where you are on your sort of study abroad journey, whether you're still thinking about, what kinds of classes or courses are right for me, whether you're sort of deciding between certain kinds of programs. For instance, maybe you're interested in an MS in business analytics, or you're a little confused about, is that really the right degree for me? Or should I be choosing something like an MS in information systems? If that in fact is a question that is on your mind, you're in the right place, because we're going to try and help you answer that this evening. We've got a fantastic panel joining us from CU Denver all the way this morning for them, this evening for us. And we'll be talking to all of them and learning a little bit about the university, the business school that's there, some of the offerings in terms of the MS programs. And we've had lots of questions come in on our social media around dual degree possibilities. What can I really do with this degree? How will I get a job? What will this university do to help me, support me on that journey? All of those questions will be answered. As always, our Q&A box is open, as is our chat box. So feel free to drop in any questions through the next 60 minutes. We'll try and take them to our panelists. And let me quickly introduce who our panelists are. We've got a wide range. We've got professors, we've got folks from the admissions team, and we've also got students. We know you love hearing about the student experience at the American universities. So we always try and make sure that we can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and ask all of our panelists to introduce themselves. I'll go by who I see first on the screen. Good morning, Dawn. I can see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. I'm Dawn Gregg. I'm a professor of information systems and director of the information systems program at the University of Colorado, Denver.
Dawn, we love asking our panelists one quick question as they introduce themselves. I'm going to throw it to you first. You're on the hot seat. What is one thing you love about Denver?
Denver is a great city for students and faculty to engage in. It's a big city, but we're very near to the mountains and the country, and it's a great city for tech. We're one of the top cities in the United States for tech and technology jobs.
Fantastic. Thanks so much and welcome. We look forward to hearing all about the MSIS program and all the possibilities at CU Denver. Good morning. I can see another panelist, another faculty member on our panel. Hello and welcome.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Oh, good evening. My name is Xiang Fang. I'm an associate professor in business analytics. I'm also the director for the discipline. I just joined CU Denver last year, but I've been living here for about 6 years now. I can tell you that I have lived in a lot of cities in United States, like Phoenix, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Gainesville, Florida. So among all these cities, I would say Denver is the best. I think I love the weather here, and if you like outdoors, this is a fantastic place for you. And also, there are a lot of dynamics around the city, and our campus is right in downtown. So I think it's a very good for you to participate in the activities around downtown area. And also it's good for you to visit some companies or maybe get some internships around downtown.
Thanks so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of questions that come in from students, as they're deciding where to go abroad to sort of, for their masters. And location often plays a big sort of deciding factor in sort of, will being here and living here and studying here really help me sort of not just have a great life in the US, but also sort of set me up for success in terms of being able to network, get internships, get jobs, within the local area. So fantastic to hear about a little bit about that from both our faculty members. Good morning. I can see Andy on my screen next.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Andy Chen, and I am part of the enrollment management team here at CU Denver Business School. Like Xiangfang, I've also had a chance to live in multiple cities throughout the United States, as well as working overseas. So just prior to moving to Denver, I lived in the Philippines, in Manila, and I would say that I love Denver the best out of all of them. It offers a great quality of life. So it's a great place to be.
Wow, big fans of Denver on the panel, I see. Good morning, Enrico. I can see you up next.
Good morning or evening, everybody. I'm Enrico Leone. I am Associate Director of Enrollment Management for the Business School. And one of the things I really appreciate about CU Denver and the Business School is you get a very nice campus community and feel and that experience, but also in the middle of a large city and in the middle and immersed in the business community. So there's a lot of partnerships and a lot of engagement with the business community.
Fantastic. And we've also got a couple of students on our panel. Good morning, Shazib. Where are you joining us from?
Yes, good morning, everyone, and good evening, wherever you are. So I'm a current graduate student. I'm pursuing my master's in business analytics. Right now, I'm in Denver. So as everyone said, Denver is a good place to live in, the very first thing. And also our campus is in downtown. So one thing that I just want to start with about our campus or about our school, business school, that or CU Denver as a whole, that we have a good community inside the school, inside the university, like good clubs like Business Career Center, Experiential Learning Center. They are so useful for any students to go for anything. I got my internship through BCC. So there are a lot of resources inside the school. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. And you mentioned the BCC. We're going to be spending some time talking about it. It's the Business Career Center at CU Denver Business School. And, we've had some really interesting questions around sort of what kind of services are in support or offered to international students specifically. We know that it sometimes can be a bit hard to sort of figure out, post-graduation plans. If you're looking for a job as an international student, that's why we've had a lot of questions around, are these programs STEM designated? What does it mean to be a STEM designated degree? How can I really sort of, market myself to an American employer as an Indian student? So all of those things are things that we'll be talking a little bit about over the next 40 minutes. But good morning. I can see Rohita as well. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Rohita. I'm a student of, I'm doing Master's in Information Systems, and I'm a student of CU Denver, and I'm here to talk about my experience in CU Denver. And I'm an officer in Information Systems Association, which is a club formed by the academic, which is an academic lab, and it has different kinds of internships. It provides different kinds of internship opportunities, networking opportunities, and coming to this, CU Denver, it was a very good place to study. And one of the best thing about Denver is to travel. If you love traveling, it was the best place. And coming to the campus life and everything, you'll have a best campus life, and you do have different kinds of events every day going on throughout the year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think both Shazib and Rohita have mentioned some of the student clubs and associations on campus, and we definitely want to learn a little bit more about that. You mentioned ISA. There's been lots of questions that we've had from students around, what are the benefits of joining ISA? How will it help me, along during my time at CU Denver? So we definitely want to learn a little bit more about sort of the opportunities there. Not just that, we also want to learn about what life is like outside of the classroom. What kinds of things can you do for fun? What is life really like in Denver? What kind of things should students be packing if they're planning to come to Denver in their suitcase? So we'll be getting to all of that and much more. Before we begin, a quick poll, just to understand sort of where students are on their study abroad journey. I would love for my team to throw that poll up on the screens, and for everyone that's on the call to take just 30 seconds of your time and answer the questions that are on your screen. We'd love to understand, where you are on your study abroad journey so that we can help answer some of the questions that you have. Are you sort of still looking for opportunities? Have you sort of shortlisted programs? Have you perhaps already started applying? Spring 24 deadlines are sort of already on way. If you're looking for spring, if you're looking for fall of next year, we'd love to know so that we can make sure that this webinar answers all of your questions. So take a few seconds, answer the questions that are on the poll in your screens right now. And perhaps as we do that, we can tell you a little bit about how we're planning to structure the next 40 minutes or so. So we're going to be talking about two programs, as you've heard from our faculty members, the MS in Business Analytics, or the MSBA, and the MS in Information Systems, or the MSIS. Lots of questions that we get day in, day out, a lot of questions around, how can I get started in a career in data science? What kind of degree will help me get there? So we thought this is the perfect opportunity for you to be, sort of come in, get these questions answered. Should you sort of go for a degree that is sort of more tech-based? Should you go for a degree that's really sort of looking overall at management? Also, are there opportunities within a dual degree that can help you really hone not just your data and analytics skills, but also your tech skills, also your entrepreneurial skills, perhaps? So we'll be answering some of those questions, over the next few minutes. But if you can answer the poll before we get into that, that'll really, really help us make sure that we can answer all of your questions. Also, if there's a program that you would like to know about, as I mentioned, the Q&A box is open. Please feel free to start asking your questions, and I'll try and take them over the next few minutes. Perhaps we can take down the poll if we've had enough answers and sort of look a little bit at sort of what the responses are like. Okay, so a lot of students just starting out and thinking about sort of where to apply for a master's. A lot of students who have heard of CU Denver, so that's very exciting. Some who've already given their GRE GMAT tests, and a lot of questions, as always, around sort of what do these programs really offer? Can you tell us a little bit about the curriculum? A lot of questions around sort of scholarship opportunities available at the school, and definitely around, as a student plans their journey after CU Denver, what kind of placement opportunities, as we call them here in India, but sort of what kind of opportunities are available in terms of getting jobs, what kind of support is available, and definitely what kind of opportunities for networking while you're on campus. So fantastic. With that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it open, perhaps first to Andy and Enrico. We'd love to hear a little bit overall, we've had some students that are here who know about CU Denver. We would really love to hear from you in sort of, business school style, your elevator pitch for CU Denver first, and then a little bit about CU Denver Business School. So Andy, perhaps I can throw it to you first.
Sure. Hi, everyone. So thanks again for joining today. I'll give you a quick introduction to our school, just to start with. So we are part of the University of Colorado system. Under the CU system, there are 4 campuses, CU Denver, CU Boulder, Colorado Springs, and Anschutz Medical Campus. We are part of CU Denver, so we're CU Denver Business School. We are the largest business school in the Rocky Mountain region. We have about 3,000 students enrolled here at the business school. And it's about a 50-50 split, with approximately 1,500 students at the undergraduate level and another 1,500 students at the graduate level. We do offer quite a few different programs here at the business school at the graduate level. largely a function of our enrollments, and two of those include the two we're going to speak about today, the information systems and our business analytics programs. The two programs are, I would say, among the most popular programs right now here at the business school. They are both STEM designated as well. So that's also a significant factor, I know, for many international students, because it allows the students to remain in the United States up to 3 years post-grad. So that's a significant factor as you're thinking about schools and making your decision. I have worked at a number of schools. I've been working in higher education now for about 15 years. And I would say that we offer a pretty compelling value proposition. If you do think about the other schools in the marketplace, we offer a very compelling value for what we offer. So that's just a very high-level introduction, and hopefully you'll learn more throughout the rest of today's session.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. I'm going to throw it to you, Enrico, as well. For a lot of students that may have never really heard about CU Denver before this, or some who may have, sort of a very cursory understanding of what it is, can you tell us a little bit about the benefits of choosing a school like CU Denver? What does it offer in that sense to an international student, especially?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we're in the middle of downtown Denver and in the middle of the business community. So especially as a business student, this is a really good place to be. We're the only AACSB accredited business school that's located in Denver. So again, we leverage partnerships with over 250 to 300 companies in downtown Denver and in the region. You mentioned the Business Career Center. The Business Career Center is a big piece of that. So if there's an industry or especially a company that you're looking into, there's a very good chance that we have a relationship with that company, either here in Denver or in the what we call the Rocky Mountain region, which is the surrounding region in Denver. And also, as you'll probably hear from some of the students, networking and events, guest speakers, student clubs, really immersing yourself or giving students the chance to immerse themselves in the business school and leverage some of those partnerships. I always tell students, if you're looking for a networking event every week of your program, there's probably a good chance you could find something here at the business school.
Yeah, and I think I'd love to really bring in Shazib and Rohita on that. I think a lot of times as students are thinking about, and imagine where you were sort of this time last year or a year and a half ago, really sort of weighing different options, thinking about where should I really go? How did you make that decision? And Rohita, maybe I could start with you. Were you looking at multiple different schools? Were you looking sort of, what was that process like? If you can just take us back.
I've been searching many colleges. Basically, I just wanted to go towards business school. I've researched a lot of universities with their course curriculums and different cultures over there. The main aim for me is to get into the culture of the other country, and then which also suits my curriculum. And coming to CU Denver Business School, it is one of the toppest business schools with what I've heard, and I did research over there back in India, and now since the campus is located in downtown, we got to explore different kinds of businesses, and you can just go and speak with the local businesses over there in order to get to know about the strategy, their business strategies, and how the business culture is over there, and how the market goes ups and downs. And since the classes and everything is in downtown, and the business school is located in the downtown, you can just explore, and it is a very best place to go hang out with friends, and you can just sit over there and learn it's a very good environment to learn over there by learning practically. And coming to this, why did I choose CU Denver? Is like it was the best part for me because the course curriculum and even the academic ones, the clubs over there, everything I've researched back in India, and I got to know that the curriculum is very close to my preferences and requirements, and where I want to see myself in the next few years. So I choose this. CU
Yeah,
Denver,
I
yeah.
think that's always really important to sort of really do a deep dive into what is it that's really offered, how does it match, your sort of professional goals and ambitions. And I think, before I throw it to Don to understand a little bit more about the MSIS program, I'm going to ask you, Shazib, also, can you tell us a little bit about how you made that process as an international student specifically? What were you looking at? What kind of different factors were you weighing before you honed in on sort of an MSBA at CU Denver?
Yeah, thank you, Priyanka. So, as like the other students, I got offered from different school around the USA. So, and to be honest, there are not a lot of university schools they offer business analytics programs. So it's very limited. And if we're really looking for a good program, then we really need to research that which university offers good business analytics program, because this is kind of new program in this industry. So the very first thing that, as this very new program, I was really concerned about who's going to teach this program, who are the faculty members. That's the very first thing that I looked on. So I went online and I searched all the faculty members' profile, specifically for the MSBA program. So I found a lot of good scholars there. To be honest, I can name all of them now, but I don't want that. But so there are a lot of good faculty members, highly scholars. They are teaching this program. This is the very first thing that impressed me. And the second thing that, as Enrico was saying, that this is in the downtown. So the networking is very easy and convenient than anywhere else, because there are a lot of business going on in this area. There is a Denver Tech Center, DTC, which is evolving now. A lot of good companies are moving in Denver right now. People are coming here from everywhere in Denver. So a lot of good networking opportunities. And as the curriculum is also comprehensive. It is starting from a core courses to elective ones. Those all are comprehensive courses. So these are main couple of things that I was really looking while I chose this CU Denver Business School Master's program.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think I'd love to bring in both of our faculty members now, sort of one after the other. And maybe Don, we could begin with you on the MSIS program. Could you tell us a little bit about sort of what that program really is? I know that there's been a lot of interest, in sort of the different offerings within the program, also the different specializations. Could you maybe speak to that a little bit and sort of just share that an insight into MSIS?
Yeah, so the MSIS program, we have a few core courses, and then we have two primary specializations. You can specialize in either business intelligence or cybersecurity. We chose business intelligence and cybersecurity because those are the two sets of skills that are most in demand, especially in the Denver area, but really across the United States. If you're looking for a job, those are the two big areas where you see a lot of demand from employers. And so the little bit of the difference, our core covers some of the foundations of information systems. So database, the role information systems plays in an organization. So strategy and security, obviously, everybody needs to know a little bit about information system security. And then in the two specializations, the business intelligence really focuses on the setting up and running business intelligence systems for organizations and what you might want to incorporate in your business intelligence, in your systems in your organization. So we have data warehousing, we have a business intelligence in healthcare, which is an emerging field. We have business intelligence in finance, also another big field that's looking for business intelligence professionals. As Chang mentioned, we have text analytics, as well as and then you can actually take some of the business analytics courses from the business analytics area as electives in the business intelligence specialization as well. Shifting to the cybersecurity specialization, cyber is a highly demanded field. There's a lot of open cybersecurity jobs in the United States right now. Obviously, we have cyber attacks we hear about every day. Some of them are big and some of them are small. And our cybersecurity specialization is more focused on cyber risk and cyber management as opposed to coding cybersecurity applications. So we have an IT risk management class. We have a cloud computing and cybersecurity class. We have a ethical hacking and digital forensics, which is really looking at how you're securing your systems within an organization. And our cybersecurity program is certified. We're a Center of Academic Excellence in Cybersecurity Education, which is a certification given by the U.S. government, which does also open additional job opportunities for students. But it also allows us to get certain resources that we can apply to the curriculum. So, for example, we have a cybersecurity club and we have a cybersecurity lab, with a lot of tools that students can just drop in on and play with when they're in the building and in between classes. So, kind of that's just a little bit of a background on. And there are cybersecurity jobs even for international students. Not in the U.S. government, but a lot of companies hire cyber, and they were always, most of them are open to hiring international security and international students in cybersecurity roles.
Yeah, I was going to ask you exactly that. I think cybersecurity is such a hot field in that sense, but I think the apprehension sometimes from international students is, will I really get a job after I graduate in this? And, it's good to know that there are options available, if not obviously in the U.S. government, but lots of other private sector opportunities within cybersecurity. Rohita, I would love to just quickly ask you, have you declared a specialization within information systems?
Actually, I didn't take any specializations because there are few courses which I love other than the specialization. I just don't want to stick on to just one specialization. Yeah. But there are few students who have taken specialization, which is very good. But I just wanted to go with all kind of course curriculum here. So yeah, I didn't take any.
Yeah, you wanted to have sort of a broader degree, sort of more options open in that sense. Great to know. And in fact, I think, sure, Dawn, please go ahead.
I was just going to follow up. If you have a strong tech background, like you took computer science as your undergrad or something like that, then a specialization is a really good option for you because you've already done a lot of the breadth courses in information systems. But if your background is less technical focused, you can take a lot of the different core classes to give you a much more well-rounded information systems background, which a lot of our students do. So it just depends. I would recommend specializations if you already have like a lot of breadth in IT. But if you don't have a lot of breadth in IT, then choosing not to pursue a specialization and taking all of the different IS core courses and then a couple of classes from both cyber and BI is a good option.
Okay. I have a few slides, not many. So I'm gonna share my screen now. Okay, so our we call it a business analytics discipline. Right now, we offer a master's program. We have an undergraduate minor. So these are the current faculty, and some of them are actively teaching in the MSBA program. For example, Dr. Tony Cox, who has tons of experience in industry, and he's also a graduate from MIT. I think he's one of the faculty that Shazib was impressed about. So he has his own.
Yes, I was right.
Yeah. He is actually actively teaching in the program. He's teaching 3 out of the 7 core courses. So for our curriculum, we have in business analytics, everyone knows about the descriptive analytics, predictive, and prescriptive. But in our curriculum, which is newly designed, just launched this year, so we added a few modern classes. For example, the causal analytics, which helps you to understand why it happens. And we also have decision analysis, evaluation analytics. These are the 3 core courses that Dr. Cox has been teaching for us. And we also have some learning analytics or some topics about collaboration. So these are the white ones are the 7 core courses. So the first 2 are kind of the foundational classes. We have the statistics. And one key difference from our program with maybe other analytics classes in the MBA or some other classes are the main tools we are using are Python or R. So I know some of the MBA classes might be using something like Excel or SPSS or Jump, but all our classes are taught by Python and R. And so, but I know some of you may not be familiar with the software, but for these 2 foundational classes, especially the second one, we have a brief, I would say, we have an introduction of the Python R and also SQL. So even if you don't have any background in Python or R, you will learn it in our program, and we will prepare you for the rest of the classes. And so for the decision analysis, causal analytics, evaluative analytics, we already taught by Dr. Cox. And for the predictive analytics, right now is being taught by a highly qualified PhD, also PhD in statistics, and he started his 2 companies. He has 2 marketing analytics companies. So he will bring in a lot of industry real examples into the classroom. And the bottom ones are the electives for BANA, but you can also take 2 other electives in IS, like text mining or database classes. So right now, we do have some process in place, which you may be able to waive your GMAT or GRE, especially if you, for example, if you already have a master's degree somewhere else, or if you have a good GPA in the undergraduate or some relevant working experience. So you may be able to waive the GMAT or GRE. So our class cannot be completely totally online. I think it's a good thing for the international student, because for international student, you do have to have some on-campus class every semester. Right now we have about 100 students. I think roughly 50% of them are international students, and among the 50%, I think more than 90% are from India. So you will not feel alone here. So you will definitely have a lot of friends in studying in BS, MSBA. And all our campus courses will be in the evening, which will help you to find some internship during the day or work on campus. So for CU Dev, we do have some like data science clubs, or we have speakers, Nobel Prize series, or you will find a lot of events going on at the business school. So this is my contact, which is also available on the website. So feel free to email me if you have any questions. All right.
Thank you for sharing that, and apologies for the mini delay in between before getting to you. I just had a quick question. You know, we get a lot of sort of interest from our students around sort of, you know, if they were to choose the program with evening classes, what would the advantages be as an international student? And maybe you know, Shazib, you can come in on that as well. Sort of, are there more opportunities to do internships on campus, jobs during the day? Could you perhaps pick up a dual degree also? What would the advantages be of sort of choosing a program with evening classes?
Well, thanks again, Priyanka. So evening program is always helpful for students who wants to do job during the daytime, also looking for a full-time job, internship. So for in my case, I got on-campus job as soon as I got admitted here. So there's a lot of on-campus jobs for sure. There we have a week Tivoli. If you don't know about Tivoli, it's the new folks, like it's a huge student reunion center. Like there's a lot of restaurants there. A lot of this is a common place to go in. So there are a lot of job opportunities there. In fact, in the business school, some faculty, they need teaching assistant, they need research assistant, some information system dev office, IT labs, they all need student employees. So these are great. I mean, during daytime, students are can do their on campus job. And also it's like I did my internship last summer, and I got this internship through the help of BCC. So it was really helpful to do my internship during the whole and during the daytime workday, and then I can take my class in the evening. And also, it's not only that you need to do the internship in summer; you can do your CPT at any time, at any point during your internship. I mean, program. I mean, there are some rules like after one semester or certain credits, like 3 to 6 credits that you can apply for CPT. At that point, evening classes are really helpful. You can work on campus, you can work on your CPT during the day, and then come back, and then you can do your evening classes. So that's really convenient for the international students.
Got it. That's helpful to know. And we'd love to hear a little bit more about that process of how you got that internship. But maybe I could ask both our faculty members as well. We had a lot of questions around dual degree options, and perhaps, we could start with, is it possible to do a dual degree alongside the MSBA, and what kind of opportunities may be available on that?
So, as I mentioned, we had some elective options in the other area, especially in the IS. So if you are trying to do a dual degree of MSBA and MSIS, these classes will be double counted. So that would save you some time and money. So yeah, but we are also working on working with other areas. Maybe in the future we can start MSBA with, for example, the entrepreneurship, and maybe we will have we can do. I know some MBA students, they do business analyst specialization. So if you want to do a degree with MBA, some of the courses will be double counted too.
Got it. And Don, and in fact, the MS entrepreneurship was just mentioned, and we know that the MSIS has the potential to do a dual degree with the MS entrepreneurship program. Could you talk to us a little bit about that and what the advantages of that might be?
Yeah, so the entrepreneurship, so the MS entrepreneurship is actually a brand new degree at CU Denver. It launched this fall. So very, very new. And so we did set up a dual degree so that a student can get both degrees within, and now Enrico's going to have to tell me how many credit hours the dual is. Is it 45 credit hours or 48 credit hours? I'm not quite.
I think it's 42.
42 credit hours. So really, because they do double count like 3 or 4 of our classes, and we accept some of their classes as electives. So an advantage of doing a dual degree with entrepreneurship is the entrepreneurship curriculum, obviously it's focused on smaller businesses. A lot of the Denver businesses are small businesses. It's an interesting landscape because there are a lot of jobs, but there's no one big employer in town. So there's no one that hires, 100 people every year. What we have is a lot of small to mid-sized companies, and they hire 2 to 3 to 5 people. And the entrepreneurship background is very useful in those companies. And if you don't have a broader business background, the entrepreneurship program offers an introduction to a lot of different areas of business. You learn a little bit about international business and finance and marketing and, writing a business plan and the management parts. So entrepreneurship is kind of a more broad-based business degree. So if you're coming in from a more technical background, the entrepreneurship background would give you a much better insight into the underworkings of the types of companies that you're going to be most likely getting a job with in Denver.
Got it. And do you think that there's a particular kind of student that would be better suited for a dual degree, sort of over, either focusing on an MSBA or an MSIS? Do you see some sort of a particular kind of student succeeding with a dual degree, or do you think that's just sort of something if you have the inclination to sort of add on to sort of a really solid core academic degree?
Well, so the people that I would think that you would be most interested is somebody that eventually wants to start their own company. As an international student, you are going to want to get a job with an existing company because they will help you with the process. But once you've gotten your visa, if you want to start your own company, doing the dual with entrepreneurship would be a very good a good place to start. If you have no business background and you really do want to be more involved with the business inner workings of businesses, maybe less technical, then a dual would be a good option for you as well, because most of the non-technical degrees are not STEM certified. So this way you would get the advantage of coming in and getting a STEM degree, which allows you the 3 years of OPT to get a job. Plus you would get the more business focused degree, which would allow you to maybe move into roles that are less technical. So, it strategically, if all you want to do is code, maybe that, the dual with entrepreneurship is not the thing for you. If you're very technical and you love the tech and you really don't want to mess with the business, then the entrepreneurship dual is not for you. But if you think you might want to start your own business, if you're thinking you might want to move into other areas like work with marketing or work with finance, then the dual degree might be a good option.
Got it. Thanks for answering that. And we've got some questions coming in from students. A tough one from Alekia, who asks, and this is to both our faculty members, could you please tell us about which masters would be better? Which one has more scope for job opportunities, the MSBA or the MSIS? And I'm going to take it to this sort of dueling question between the faculty. Which would you recommend? Or is there potentially a specific kind of student that might be better student for each sort of degree? And I'd love to hear from both of you.
So since on my mic, I'm unmuted. I would say it depends on you. There are lots of jobs in both areas. So MSBA, MSIS, there are jobs. And there are a lot of jobs. So one or the other really wouldn't, it's all in what you prefer doing. The MSIS is more technology focused. So, you learn how to set up and run databases. You learn how to set up and run data warehouses. You learn, the role of business intelligence systems within an organization. It's much more systems focused. The technologies at the heart of whatever we teach, as opposed to business analytics. And I'll let, I'll stop there because if I was alone, I would go into the business analytics, but I think Professor Fang can answer that one.
Yeah, I think
is your answer going to be MSBA is much better?
It's totally depend on the student. I think like for my own case, I can code, but I don't love coding. So I'm glad I actually get into this area instead of computer science. Computer science has been taught for many years. So IS is a business version of computer science, basically. So for my own experience, I can code, but I don't want to do coding only. So I want to so for the business analytics, you actually use the Python or R to deal with a data set. But the key is to derive some managerial or business insights out of your data set. So the business sense is very important too. And also we do a lot of optimization. That's helping the business to do the business better. Maybe can minimize the cost or maximize the profit, those type of things.
Okay,
Yeah, I
great.
think
Very diplomatic
so.
answer. I'm actually going to throw it to both students as well, because we've got one from MSBA, one from MSIS. So, tell us, was that sort of a question that you were thinking about? Should I choose this degree? Should I choose that degree? How did you decide, really? And maybe Shazam, we can start with you and Rohit next.
Yes, right. So to be honest, that's a very good question, and this is a very open questions. Everyone had these questions when we started looking for admission. So my answer is very specific that Dawn has mentioned something, then our director has mentioned something for MSBA. If MSIS is totally focusing on the in-depth of a system, of a database, data warehouse, more like deep diving in the coding, the system administration, something like that. Whereas on the other hand, MSBA is more on taking business decision based on the coding, based on the output you get from the Python or whatever we did in coding. So whoever wants to be in a strategic position in the future in their career, that who wants to take the decision for the sake of business, for the business process improvement, that hey, we need to improve this segment to improve our business, to get more revenue, to get more profit. We have to minimize that. So this sort of decision maker is if someone wants to be a decision maker for a company for in the future, then MSBA good option. On the other hand, if someone wants to build up those coding, build up those decisions background, then MSIS.
Great, that's a great answer. Rohit, is that sort of what you thought about as well? Did you have a dilemma, or were you very focused that no, MSIS is sort of where I want to go?
Yeah, MSIS is more, as everyone has mentioned, it was more focused on technology, where you use the technology in the business world, because it is now about technology, right? So every business uses technologies, and you learn about different kinds of tools that needs to be used in business world. And for example, Tableau, Python, to design certain platforms. So yeah, MSIS is more focused towards technology. And I just wanted to mention about what MSIS the students who want to learn or involve much in both technology and business, then choose MSIS. Yeah, and you do have different kinds of platforms where you need to learn about the students who want to go towards technology, building a business in technology, then MSIS is the best program for you.
All right, great. And we have a lot of questions coming in around scholarships and financial aid. Maybe Andy and Enrico, I can sort of bring you in on that. Could you tell us a little bit about sort of opportunities available, especially for international students within the business school, whether related to financial aid, whether related to scholarships, and sort of a secondary to that, also any sort of on-campus job opportunities to sort of help students support themselves financially.
Yeah, so we have.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We have quite a few opportunities for scholarships and financial aid, as well as assistantships, and as Shazib mentioned, on-campus job opportunities. We also have an Office of International Student Services that students can work with an International Student Service Advisor. They have partnerships with some third-party or external organizations like internationalstudent.com, Education USA, Prodigy Finance. Within CU Denver, once students are admitted, they'll have access to what we call or what we offer as Scholarship Universe, and they'll be able to apply prior to every semester of enrollment for any scholarships that we offer. And the business school does have a significant scholarship offering, mainly because of our partnerships with private organizations and private donors. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities for scholarship and financial aid. Our Office of Financial Aid can also work with students for student billing options. And then also, as Shazib mentioned again, once students are admitted and they have their university ID, they can apply for research or teaching assistantships, student hourly positions on campus, whether that's here in the business school or anywhere in the wellness center, in the library, in the Tivoli Student Union, anywhere on campus.
And just a quick question before we I'm very cognizant that we're almost out of time and we have so many more things to cover. But Andy, I was curious, do you think you could tell us a little bit about the BCC that sort of Shazib's mentioned and a couple of other folks have mentioned as well? What does it really do and how is it specifically supporting international students sort of get job ready?
Yeah, definitely. So here at the business school, we have a dedicated team of advisors and coaches that's available to work with our students and alumni. So it is the only dedicated career resource here on the CU Denver campus, besides the campus career center. So this is just for our business school students. So we host career fairs next month. End of September, we're hosting a Colorado Business Schools Fair, which will bring in probably a few hundred employers throughout the region. So we'll partner with multiple business schools in the area. That's one example. We also work with the students on a one-on-one basis. So the coaches are available to work with the students on their resumes, as well as conducting interviews, as well as coordinating connections to companies. So it's a very hands-on process, knowing that international students need additional support along the way. So that's, I would say, really a big differentiator here at the business school for our students.
And Shazib, I know you'd mentioned that you had an internship that you got through the BCC. Could you tell us a little bit about what that internship search was like? Sort of, did you go in, did you work on your resume with the BCC? Just tell us a little bit about, very briefly, what that process was like.
Yeah, so it's always hard to find an internship, to be honest. But I was looking for internship and I was applying by myself. And as soon as a student get admitted there, they will have Handshake, which is a great platform to apply for a job for any students, upcoming student. Handshake. Remember the name; it will help you a lot. Handshake. So I applied through Handshake, and also BCC helped me to fine tune my resume. Also helped me networking or connect me with the business leaders in the industry. I attended in a couple of seminars arranged by BCC. There's also, I believe in every year, if not every semester, BCC has arranged a career fair, which is very, very important. So I went to the career fair, and then BCC helped me to connect me with the business leaders in the industry. That's how I got connected to the industry and I got my internship.
May I add just one more thing to that point?
Go ahead.
Our business career center counselors are very thorough. So they don't just host the career fairs, they do career fair prep and they review resumes and they make sure every student is prepared when they go to that career fair, which makes our students, I think, more successful when they do meet those potential employers.
Got it. And I think we've talked a little bit about sort of why being in downtown Denver is also such a pull, for all of these opportunities that are available. I was very curious to know from both Rohita and Shazib, just generally what your life has been like outside of the classroom. We spoke a little bit about some of the clubs that you've been a part of, the associations, and maybe Rohita, you could tell us a little bit about that, the ISA specifically. But beyond that, also sort of non-academic activities, what's available on campus? What do you typically do? I'd love to hear from you, Rohita.
Yeah, the student life in CU Denver is really, I love being a student here. And coming to the campus life, you have different kinds of events going on throughout the year, and you can just hop in, go and talk with them, which builds your networking, your communication skills, and you can just go to any place in Tivoli, and it was a very huge campus. The commute is very comfortable, and then coming to the Tivoli is a place where all the different colleges meet over there. It was to be known as Student Common Building, Student Union, to be honest. So it contains every student from different universities around CU Denver, and you can just go and ask anywhere the scholarship, the part-times, and you can find everything over here. If you want to hang out, we do have medical campus here, medical center, events, even there are different clubs, and we do have block parties available where you can just go out and hang out. We do have music classes, dance classes. We have wellness center over there. You can just go swimming pool. After the classes, we do have nap rooms. We can go there, and if we are tired, we can just go there and hang out. Gym is available over here. And coming to the clubs, we do have different kinds of clubs for different cultures, different people. We do have ISA club, business, women in business club, Bridges International. There are different kinds of clubs where you can go out and hang out. And there are outdoor activities which is being conducted, like going out for networking opportunities. And coming to the ISA, it is an Information Student Association club, and which is the main club in the business school, to be honest. And we do have we offer different kinds of events, organize different events, career fairs, scholarship opportunities even. And there are few events where the business leaders come to you and talk to you regarding what are the specific requirements of the company, what is the current market right now, and what are the skills required for the employers are looking for, and what are the skills that you need to be improved. And they even talk about like how you can, and they provide certain resources like how to improve your skills and have to land in a specific job. Yeah. And I've attended different career fairs over here in order to, I got to know about the US market or US work culture from that career fairs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating. I think a lot of times, you're not just adjusting into a new culture, but a new work culture as well, sort of how different that is, sort of how differently that functions. So I think that's really valuable to have that experience.
Yeah.
Even
and even
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, even we get to know from our alumni, like how did they get their internships, or how did they land in their job opportunities, how to search for them. And alumni was really very good. They were very helpful.
Fantastic. Shazib, I'd love to throw that to you as well. Sort of, what has your experience been like outside of the classroom in Denver? Was there anything that surprised you? Maybe the weather, the local community, just a little bit of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so outside of campus, I think I just want to mention one thing: the wellness center, which is comprehensive and massive. So there's a gymnasium, swimming pool, great place to go there anytime you get leisure time. And also the communities are really strong in Denver. The student community in Tivoli, there are people, student comes from different school and meet at one point. I call it junction, where people come from every schools and then they meet. They can share their thoughts, they can share their experience, they can find good opportunities. Now, so networking opportunities are very open in this area, Denver. Also outside the campus, I must say, like, I like the weather so far so good, but because I know that a lot of students are from India. I'm from Bangladesh myself, so neighboring country, India and Bangladesh. So yeah, so this kind of weather is kind of a real surprise for us, snowing and then everything. So it's gonna be a little unusual situation for the very first point, but as time goes by, it will become more convenient for the students, to be honest. So not to get afraid of snow, cold, everything. It will be easier as time go by, because once I started, so that was real tough for the first 1 month because there was spring semester, there's cold and so much and snowing. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Now I'm a big fan of snow. I mean, not snow because no one loves snow in Denver. I know people, but who are from India or Bangladesh who love snow at some point. Yeah.
All right, thank you for sharing that. Very candid. We're almost completely out of time, and sort of, as we wrap things up, I'd love for my team to throw up a quick poll and sort of get an understanding from folks that attended. Sort of, were you able to get all of your questions answered? Is there something you'd like to know more about? Our team would love to sort of help you along your journey. So please do sort of fill out, the form, the poll that's on your screens right now. And as students do that, I would love for each of you to sort of, as one closing thought, maybe share something a little bit about, why you think CU Denver is a good option for Indian students. And maybe Dawn, I could begin with you. Sort of, what is your, in closing style, what is your elevator pitch for CU Denver Business School for Indian students?
So I think CU Denver provides a lot of opportunities for Indian students. We do have a lot of Indian students already here. We have a lot in the business analytics. We probably have nearly 150 Indian students in the MS Information Systems program. So you will have a lot of people that have the same background, but we also have, about the same number of people from the United States. But what I think the opportunity for Indian students are in Denver is the location specifically, because I know most Indian students are coming to the United States hoping to eventually get a job in the United States. And our job market is still one of the hottest in the country, especially in technology. And so I think that being here and in this job market and getting your education here really does help prepare you for a future career in the United States. So a lot of it is around the city we're embedded in. I mean, it's a great degree. We have a lot of opportunity for Indian students, but being in Denver itself really does open the doors for getting a job when you graduate.
Got it. Thank you so much. And Professor Fang, maybe I can throw it to you next. What do you think in sort of one quick line or one sort of sentence, one thought, why would someone choose an MSBA at CU Denver?
Yeah, I think as an international student myself, like 20 years ago, I think one thing we do look at is the school ranking. I think the CU Denver does have a good reputation. And the ranking, I know outside the US, someone is maybe looking at the QS ranking. It's kind of a world ranking. So I just checked that one. We are around 428 out of, that's the worldwide. I think it's quite impressive. And so I think even as an international student, one thing we want to do is to get a good degree and then have the career support and then find a job. So here we are all STEM majors. So that definitely helps. Back 20 years ago, we don't really have that 3-year OPT. Everyone gets only 1 year OPT, but now it's 3-year OPT. I think it's fantastic. And again, we have a lot of Indian students, so you will have a lot of networking opportunities among the group.
Perfect. Andy, I'm going to throw it to you with a slightly different question. Sort of as you leave us, what do you think is one completely underrated thing about Denver that an Indian student should definitely sort of look and consider as they sort of look at different schools?
I would say, I think Shazit touched on this previously with the weather. It's a beautiful climate here. I would say pretty moderate weather-wise. We do have beautiful summers, about 300 days of sunshine each year, but we've got the mountains very close by, so we're about 45 minutes away from great skiing. So yeah, weather is actually one of the main reasons why I really enjoy being here in Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to throw that same question to Enrico because I think we haven't talked enough a little bit about what life is really like in Denver. So what do you think, as an Indian student should really consider or sort of look out for as they maybe consider Denver?
So I think in addition to it's a growing market, it's a growing economy, growing city, and the campus definitely reflects that. But outside of that, Denver geographically is sort of in the middle of the U.S. So we're not, you know, a stereotypical West Coast scene or student or personality, or an East Coast. We're right in the middle, and we attract people from all coasts and the Midwest, and you get a good diverse, not only international population, but a diverse experience of people throughout the United States who have moved to Denver over the last couple of years.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Shazib, I'd love to hear from you. Sort of, what do you think is your one piece of advice to students from India that are considering coming to CU Denver? Is there something that they should think about, that maybe they should pack in their bag as they come? One sort of advice to an international student.
To be honest, I just want to give one advice from an academic point of view, which I faced, that once you get enrolled in master's program, the very first couple of weeks will be really bumpy. Like, you'll think like, well, where am I now? Why the professor is so strict? Why the curriculum is so hard? Why I don't have any idea what is R, what is Python? At that point, you may get frustrated within the first couple of weeks, but I promise you, things will get better as soon as the time goes by, after 2-3 weeks. So hang tight, stay tight, and then be focused. Don't get lose hope. So I just sharing my experience when I started my master's. After first week, I called my parents and said, "Hey, Mom, I don't think I can go further. I can't complete my master's. But now I'm just in my last semester and I'm still maintaining a good CGPA 4 out of 4. I'm I'm sharing because of to motivate the students." So yeah, so this is the very good one piece of advice that I want to give them. Sometimes students may get frustrated within a couple of weeks, considering the whole thing, because to be honest, most of the students don't have the skills of Python, R, how US professors grade, how US professors take exams. It's a whole lot of different things. And the exam policy, the exam culture, how they take exams. So it varies from professor to professor. It varies from country to country. So just be focused. Don't lose your hope. Things will get better anytime soon.
Oh, lovely advice. Thank you for sharing. And Rohita, the last word is to you. Any sort of words of advice, any tips for other Indian students that were sort of in the place that you were thinking about CU Denver, anything that they should consider, any sort of advice you have for them?
Yeah, as you said, it was really tough for me when I started here. Yeah, even I thought I couldn't complete my master's over here, but yeah, finally we are into it, and it's just a matter of time. You'll get used to it. And the other important thing that I really faced was the weather. I was here for the fall, and for the spring it was all snow. I was like, what is this weather? I didn't see it anytime. Oh God. And then later on, I got used to it and I love being here. And the very important thing and most important thing that I like in Denver is the city over here. The Colorado is a beautiful city in the US, and I just never want to go outside this country. And coming to the campus or the academics, the main advice that I want to give is to just face every challenge that you have here, and you'll get strong. That's it.
Oh, lovely advice. Thank you all so much for sort of sharing all the insights into CU Denver, into the programs, into life at Denver, and sort of leaving our students with some great advice. So thank you all for your time. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. And we look forward, for folks that are joining us on GradRight, please feel free to follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn. There'll be lots and lots of information around sort of, in case we weren't able to get to your questions, you'll be able to get those answered as well. So thank you all for taking the time to spend with us. And have a wonderful rest of your day.